Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about a duology that I recently read, Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. The story follows as Iris Winnow is an 18-year-old reporter working to support herself and her mother. Iris's brother, Forrest, followed the goddess Envy's call to fight in the war, and he has not been heard from since he left. Iris's mother, Aster, turned to drinking after his departure, eventually losing her job. It was for this reason Iris has to drop out of school and go to work, breaking her promise to her brother to stay in school. At the Oath Gazette, Iris is competing for a columnist position against her wealthy co-worker, 19-year-old Roman Kitt. Kitt is at the newspaper because his father refused to send him to school to study literature as he wanted. In his father's mind, making columnist will prove much more advantageous. Iris and Kitt fight for every story, pull pranks on each other, and generally tolerate the other's existence while at work. Iris believes Kitt will eventually get the job because his father has money and power while she has no such connections. She also suspects that her boss, Zeb Autry, is being told not to report on certain things about the war. Iris and Kitt were both given a typewriter by their grandmothers. For weeks, Iris has been writing letters to her brother and they disappear under the wardrobe until finally one day someone writes back saying they are not her brother Forrest. It's Kitt, and he knows it's Iris's letters he is receiving, but she doesn't know it's him. He does not tell her. He gives her his middle name, Carver. Things take a turn when Iris learns her mother, Aster, has tragically died. Iris abruptly leaves work. Zeb gives Kitt the columnist job. Numb, Iris immediately resigns. Kitt tries to stop her and even tries to persuade their boss to give them both more time, revealing that he knows about Iris's mom's death. She refuses and takes a job at the Inkridden Tribune, where she becomes a war correspondent. Her hope is that she will find her brother. Iris discovers that her typewriter was a set of 3 Alouette typewriters that were made and named after a sick girl, and 2 of them were given to her friends so they could communicate. One of the friends was Iris's nan, and Carver's nan was the other. Iris is sent to Avalon Bluff, where she lives with a woman named Marisol at her bed and breakfast along with another war correspondent, Addie. She spends her days working with, interviewing and writing letters for injured soldiers, as well as planting a garden with her new friends. She writes to her pen pal, who she still doesn't know is Kitt, though she lets him know where she is. She learns about the war and Darcy's monsters that terrorize the town. One day, as the sirens are blaring, Kitt arrives, walking across the field. She rushes to him to make him lie down to hide from the bomb-dropping ethereals flying overhead, saving him. He is a newly appointed war correspondent, and Iris is irritated he is here, assuming he is only trying to show her up again. He continues writing to her as Carver, trying to get to know her while looking for the right opportunity to tell her the truth. He finally writes a letter admitting that he is Carver, but before she can read it, they are both sent to the front lines to report. While in the trenches, Kitt saves Iris from a grenade and takes shrapnel in his leg. Shaken, they return to Avalon Bluff, where Iris learns the truth. Carver and Kitt are one and the same. Soon after this, the sirens blare, telling them that Darcy's forces are closing in. Marisol's wife Keegan arrives with her platoon to help defend the city and evacuate the citizens. Iris receives a letter stating her brother's whereabouts. He is likely to come through Avalon Bluff, so Iris decides to stay. Though injured, Kitt determines to stay as well. They wake to Darcy's bombs shaking the city. When it eases, they go out to help the injured. While out, the ethereals arrive, dropping poisonous gas. Kitt and Iris get separated until Kitt, wearing a gas mask, finds her and drags her away to the field. She quickly realizes it's not Kitt, it's her brother Forrest. He forces her away, leaving Kitt to the gas. Later, they go back to look for Kitt, but he is gone. Iris and Forrest travel back to Oath. Iris learns that Forrest was mortally injured in the war, but Darcy found him and healed him, forcing him afterward to fight for his army rather than Envy's. Forrest barely found the strength to get away after finding their mother's locket in the trench where Iris lost it. His only goal was to get her to safety. In the end, we learn that as Darcy walked the fields around Avalon Bluff after his troops secured the city, he stumbled upon Kitt, who is minutes from dying but still fighting his way toward Iris. Darcy grants him life, saying his spirit is made of ice. He takes Kitt below to the underworld to become his first war correspondent. That is kind of the far-off plot of Divine Rivals. Of course, there is so much more than just this, but this is a quick version of the whole story. 2 weeks have passed since Iris Winnow returned home bruised and heartbroken from the front, but the war is far from over. Roman is missing, and the city of Oath continues to dwell in a state of disbelief and ignorance. When Iris and Addie are given another chance to report on Darcy's movements, they both take the opportunity and head westward once more despite the danger, knowing it's only a matter of time before the conflict reaches a city that's unprepared and fracturing beneath the Chancellor's reign. Since waking below in Darcy's realm, Roman cannot remember his past. But given the reassurance that his memories will return in time, Roman begins to write articles for Darcy, uncertain of his place in the greater scheme of the war. When a strange letter arrives by wardrobe door, Roman is first suspicious, then intrigued. As he strikes up a correspondence with his mysterious pen pal, Roman will soon have to make a decision to stand with Darcy or betray the god who healed him. Like Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows is told in third-person format with alternating perspectives from both Roman and Iris. Towards the final chapters, we also get a multi-point of view perspective from multiple characters. My opinion on the ending of Divine Rivals. I must admit I foresaw something like this happening at the end of the book, given how happy Iris and Roman were, and with 100 pages still remaining in the book. I was genuinely afraid of reaching the end of the book because I knew things were too good to be true. And I was right, I loved the epilogue and seeing Roman's will to live. Darcy arrives and transforms him into something from the underworld. Roman, once the most jovial and happy person, is now transformed into this dark creature almost semi-human, and Darcy recognizes his anguish and cold, deep spirit going to the extent of granting Roman a full life again.
The biggest question was around Dacre Enva and their whole backstory and the entire cause for a senseless war killing millions of innocent civilians. Because there were so many questions I had about the why, that part of the story just didn't resonate for me. I still don't get the reason behind the war that well. I needed stronger motivations, backstory, and fleshing out of both Dacre and Enva to make them feel three-dimensional. Other than that, I loved the book.